Welcome back. With the 2022 school year coming to a close, emphasis remains on getting students back on track. And one way to do just that is by putting our educators first. So to talk about the professional development workshops that are taking place for Hawaii teachers at Mid-Pacific Institute is Sumoha Min. Good morning, Sumoha. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
You are a project manager with the Kupu Hou Academy. Can you tell me what is Kupu Hou and what is your guys' mission with this?
Certainly. So Kupu Hou Academy is part of the Center for Advancing Education at Mid-Pacific Institute. And our mission is to provide support and give the tools that teachers and school communities need to bring deeper learning to classrooms everywhere. We mostly work with DOE schools and charter schools here in Hawaii, and we are committed to empowering educators and ensuring that teachers are teaching teachers to bring their great work that they're already doing and amplify it so that students are engaged and find their learning experience even more meaningful in the classroom, and that they're prepared at a deeper level for their future.
And I know the last couple of years have been very unique, to say the least, and teachers and students have been having to adapt. I know a term you guys are using when talking about the academy is future-proofing students. Can you explain to me what that means and why it's so important right now?
Absolutely. Just like you said, the last 2 years have been super tough for everybody, especially our teachers. And when we talk about future proofing, we're really talking about how do we find that balance? How do we strike that balance between preparing students to be ready and also having students and teachers be well, right? So this is really about building our resiliency muscle. And so our upcoming workshop, which is Futureproof, Designing Learning so that students can thrive in a changing, dynamic world, is committed to helping educators explore some of these questions around what do we really need to strike that balance between readiness and wellness, and how do we design intentionally so that our students are deeply engaged in their learning and actually can close that gap that maybe has gotten a little bit bigger in the last 2 years due to the pandemic in their learning.
From teachers you guys have worked with in the past with some of your other academies, perhaps during the pandemic, what has been some feedback from them in terms of, what's been maybe the toughest things they've been experiencing in the classroom with what students have had to go through? I don't know if there's maybe some key things that they've pointed out to you guys they need help with.
Well, I think the pandemic, in a sense, it's put all of us in this in the mode that we're not used to being in, which is a constant sense of uncertainty and a constant sense of like, oh, what's going to happen next, and nobody really knows. And so the key thing here is to ensure that we can be nimble, that we can adapt quickly, and all of that is about attending to the needs of ourselves first, and then of course our students and their families and our school community as a whole. And so what we're seeing is that educators really need sort of support in moving away from the compliance aspects of teaching and education, right? The focus should not be always on just where are the students sitting, but really on the conversations that they're having, and how do we ensure that they can have conversations in a safe place, because conversations are necessary for learning. And so some of the things that our teachers are grappling with are how do we design our learning experience in the classroom and not lose those key elements around being prepared for the future, having conversations, learning how to work together, being able to think critically. If we're learning in a vacuum, that doesn't happen. And so we really have to figure out developing new tools and new techniques to help teachers be able to design so that students can be ready and be well at the same time.
Sumoha, before we let you go, of course, big question here is, when is this next academy starting? It's coming up here pretty quickly, and how can teachers sign up?
Absolutely. So the next workshop is going to be from May 31st to June 3rd, and it's 7:30 in the morning to 3:30 in the afternoon, and it's our first welcome back on Mid-Pacific's campus, open to all teachers, administrators, school counselors, after-school care staff. It really is for anybody who is part of educating a child, who takes a role in educating children. And you would want to go to kupuhou.midpac.edu/futureproof. So that's KUPUHOU.MIDPAC.edu/futureproof. And the cost of the workshop includes the meals for that week, plus lots of interaction and being part of a growing community of teachers that are committed to ensuring that all of our Keiki in Hawaii are getting an incredible learning experience despite the challenges that we're facing.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Smoha. You were great. I mean, that was a lot of awesome information. Thank you for joining us.
So much. All right. Take care.
We'll have this full interview as well as all of that information on how you can sign up on our website, kitv.com, in just a little bit. We're off for a break. We'll be right back.